Hello, everyone. You're listening to No Limits, a PlayStation podcast. And on this episode, Sam H. Haney gives us his thoughts on Horizon Burning Shores. Woohoo! Hello, everyone. My name is Taylor, and I'm joined by my co-hosts Sam and Brianna. And you're listening to No Limits, a PlayStation podcast, episode 41. One more than 40. Remember, you can find the video version of this pod over on youtube.com/SaveTheGameMedia every Tuesday. And while you're over there, make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you'd rather listen to audio, we are on all your favorite podcast services. And we would love it if you could leave us a review. It helps us grow, and we would love any feedback. If you want to support us and get early access to all Save the Game Media content, head over to patreon.com/SaveTheGameMedia and choose the tier that's right for you. Just like our current patrons did. Bucky Blue, Hopple, Alpaca Tom, Amon, Fabulous Brianna, Brianna's mom, Brianna's brother, Brianna's wife, Nikolai Knight, Cypher Primus, Brendan Myers, Marcus O'Neill, Lillian, Mimi J, The Snack Network, David Hotright, Dave Harp, the Xbox Expansion Pass. All right. Remember, please go over to our Patreon to check that out. And our Twitter at Save the Game Media is also available, and you can interact with us in the Discord. Links are all in the show notes. How are we doing?
Pretty good, all things considered. I think today is going to be a good one. There's good stuff to talk about. I'm feeling ready and raring to go. Taylor, thank you for asking. How are you?
Oh, thanks. Good to hear that. How am I? I don't matter. How are you doing, Bree?
You definitely matter.
No, he doesn't. Don't tell him that.
No. Playing to my self-deprecation. God damn it.
That's so sad. Okay.
Life is nothing but a cloudy day. Anyway, sorry.
Damn.
Yeah. I think this is like total tangent, but you distracted me. This is your fault. I think my favorite thing is, I can't remember the term, but there's a Japanese term that basically is like life is like basically like the light shining through the leaves, where you do have those dark moments, but you kind of get those like brief patches of sunlight like shimmering through the leaves.
They're only brief.
Yeah, that's true. But
it's all darkness.
Yeah, that's true. What can you do?
Did I mention it's cloudy?
It's not in this metaphor, but yes, sure.
Anyway.
I am doing okay. There was a lot of drama at work.
Oh my God.
It was actually pretty bad.
Oh no.
But we made it out the other end, and hopefully it will be clear for next week. Because now the CEO is asking that we hire 8 people in like a month or so.
You're about to have to start up in that pay, baby. Wait, did a lot of people just walk out? Can you give us like the
tea? We were
post show.
Yeah, I'll tell you post show. Sure.
All right. If you want to hear Bree's workplace drama gone wrong in the drama gone police drama, you can listen to that in the post show.
I'll give you a small taste. It did involve HR several times.
Oh, HR had to be contacted several times?
Yeah.
Was there a wiffle ball bat involved?
There was not. Close, though.
Pinata?
Maybe.
If you just hit that nail on the head, I will eat my hat.
Now I have to make up a story just to force you to eat a hat.
Once I hit a pinata. We're play some Viva Pinata. Bree, you would love that game. You would actually love Viva Pinata.
Okay. I'll check it out.
Maybe you wouldn't. I don't know.
Check it out and then never finish it. Oh my God. So hold on. This has to be said somewhere on a podcast because I was so upset about this. So I was talking to my dad and his girlfriend about like how sometimes like if I get stressed about a show, I'll look up the end of a show. Like, so that way, like, I like kind of know how it concludes. I don't do it often, but every once in a while, like, I'll read the last page of a book or I'll like look ahead or whatever. like in like TV shows, whatever. My dad's like, yeah, it's not a problem. It's not like you're ever gonna finish it anyways.
Oh my god.
I was like, Dad, you can't say that.
Well,
Not
there's a lot
wrong,
worse
though.
things you can tell you.
I was
Sometimes
so
the truth
upset.
hurts, you know.
It
Sometimes
did
the
hurt.
truth
I
hurts.
couldn't stop laughing. I was like shocked Pikachu for a second, and then like I couldn't stop laughing after that. Anyways, that's what happens.
You should kick your dad. No.
Low point of my week.
Oh man. Well, damn. As for me, I guess I should talk about myself.
Good.
I'm almost on Act 2 in Ghost of Tsushima. I just wrapped up a very important fight in Act 2. The character whose name I will DM in our group chat so Sam knows what I'm talking about or where I'm talking about. Oh shit. I'll put in spoiler tags in case Bree ever plays it.
I do
What?
know exactly who you're talking about without you even sending it, but
All right. You know what? Fine.
I've played all of part 1.
send it anyway. You know, you're
All right.
committed.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's we mean part Act 1. Yeah, this is that. I think this is the end of Act 2. Granted, I'm on a new mission right now.
Oh, Act 2? Okay, yeah, no, I haven't played that.
Wait, and yeah, so that's going well. At first, I'm like, this story's kind of predictable, and then the end of Act 2 happened with this fight, and I'm like,
Oh wait, actually though, I did look up the ending of Ghost of Tsushima. So.
oh. And then the Act 2 ending started happening with that fight, and I'm like, okay, this is getting decent.
I forgot I did that.
Like, I don't know, a lot of the story, this might be a hot take, feels like, I don't know, a bit canned, where it's like, I must regain my honor from dismantling my opponents in helping save my kingdom, and there's an expectation I must restore my honor by not taking my opponents in stealthily ways, but you're the Ghost Tsushima, so you have to embrace that.
Yeah,
so
I'm with you. I know what you mean. I think into Act 3 there are some things that happen that sort of make that a bit more, mesh work better. So.
All right, cool. But the cinematography, like the way the production so far is really has me intrigued, and also some end of Act. I was not expecting, Sam. I'll tell you, I wasn't expecting this to happen at the end of Act 2.
Mm-hmm.
Typing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be expecting that either.
I was expecting that to happen. For people who haven't played the game, I'm very caged about spoilers, so I could just go rave about it now, but
yeah,
I'd rather not. Oh, and I shouldn't play Iki Island until I beat the game. Is that correct?
Oh God.
From what I remember, it doesn't impact it too much, but I think that, like, thematically, you'll probably enjoy Iki better if you do it after the end of the campaign.
Do it after because you can't leave Iki. So
can't leave
until you finished Iki.
Yeah, so you're like stuck until you finish it. That was my mistake.
Help me, Jin. I'm stuck.
You're supposed to say like step bro or something.
Yeah. Step Jin.
There you go.
Yep. But here we are.
Oh, no, I just had a really intrusive thought.
It's okay. But yeah, I'm playing on lethal, so I'm still enjoying that.
Damn. Okay.
I bet you didn't play on lethal, Sam, did you, huh?
I didn't. I'm not that good.
Yeah, that's right. No, there were some duels. There was like at least one duel in a Mythic Tale that took me like 40 minutes. I'm like, should I really keep doing this? In some ways, it's like a Souls, but not that. It's not that extreme.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm debating whether I should finish all this. So there's the Tales of Tsushima, which like with Jin's named friends, which I enjoy. But there's also like these unnamed quests where it's just like random, helping random people, and this is in the on the islands or communities. I'm not sure if I want to do that. All of those before I beat the game. Like I surely want to beat all the Mythic Tales and the Tales of Tsushima, but those unnamed ones, I'm not sure if I want to.
Yeah,
Like,
I think those two are definitely worth it, but it sort of depends on, not that it's like completionist cleaning up stuff, because there are still interesting things that happen in those minor quests or whatever, but the meaty stuff is what you're focusing on. So
cool, yeah, thanks. So I'm making my way downtown, finishing that game, or playing that game. Not close to finishing, of course. 55 hours in, I'm only that far. That's how slow I play games.
hey, if you're gonna take it slow and appreciate a game, Tsushima is it's a pretty good one to pick. So
Thanks, yeah. So yeah, I've been doing that. I watched the new Cheers of the Kingdom trailer. Holy hell, it looks. That might be. It might be the best video game trailer I've ever seen.
wow,
Have you guys watched it?
I have, yeah.
What do you think, Sam?
I'm not really a Zelda person, so it didn't really do much for me, but I could still sort of tangentially absorb some of the hype that it was very clearly giving.
Yeah.
I could tell it was if I knew that if I was into Zelda, that trailer was going to do like everything for me.
Right.
Like when the saxophone kicked in and it started doing the Breath of the Wild theme, I was like, ooh, even I don't like Breath of the Wild that much, but still I could appreciate what it was going for. So
It's a saxophone?
I definitely heard a saxophone at some point kick into that trailer. Whether
Like,
it might not have been the part that was actually doing the Breath of the Wild theme section, now that I think about it, but there was definitely a saxophone that kicked in.
playing Careless Whisper.
Yeah. George Michael came on out. Surprise cameo. Who knew?
Rip.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Sam. He's dead.
Damn. At least we still have Bowie.
If you guys ever like found out like years later that somebody passed away,
Yeah,
that
like
happened
damn.
to me once.
Apparently, Sigmund Freud is dead. Like, what the fuck? When did that happen?
When did that happen? No, one of my favorite authors, actually, I like didn't know she passed away for like I think 4 years.
Oh wait, I said the F
I
word.
was
Kev's gonna
really
kill me.
upset. No, he's not.
He's gonna kill me. Not if I.
It's not worth editing, I promise. I'll say it
All
as
right.
well if you want.
No. FX box. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you said Freud, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I said Freud.
Yeah. That's the F word.
Yeah, but Sam, you have some special knowledge you'd like to disperse the community today about Horizon Burning Shories.
I do. Okay, so just I'm going to need some context from both of you because I'm not
Haven't
super up
played
to
Zero
speed.
Dawn.
You haven't played Zero Dawn. Okay, so you haven't played any Horizon.
Nope. I'm a phony.
Bree, have you played Zero Dawn?
No, she hasn't. She hasn't.
Even slightly?
No, she
I
hasn't.
have played most of it.
Okay.
What?
Okay, but you haven't necessarily finished it. Okay,
As long as she remembers it anyway.
I do.
Okay,
Oh, come on. I'm on my own island here.
Obviously, we all know the general synopsis for what kind of thing it is.
Mhm.
Are both of you spoiler free on Forbidden West, or do you guys know some stuff that happens in that game?
I'm spoiler free on Forbidden West.
I'm not spoiler equipped.
Okay.
I'm spoiler free.
Okay. So that will dictate what I can say here. Essentially, to give a very basic spoiler free overview, it is in my opinion, an excellent DLC. It's not perfect. There are some issues with Horizon, particularly in terms of the gameplay that is evidently still present. I think it's little things. To be fair, it's stuff like when Aloy gets knocked down, she stays down on the ground for like so long, and by the time that she starts getting back up, you don't have any invincibility frames, so you can get knocked down straight again. It's like, oh, for God's sake. Little things like that, but that's nitpicking. Overall, it is an excellent addition to the franchise. There are some excellent narrative and lore additions that are implemented. Because without spoilers, Forbidden West, like the idea of robot dinosaurs is cool in Zero Dawn. Forbidden West goes a little bit wild. Like some really wacky, weird stuff starts happening. And they sort of double down on that in Burning Shores. It's reminded me, and I said this to both of you in Discord, but it's reminded me that Forbidden West is by quite a margin the most graphically impressive game I've played. It is, the Decima engine is doing work, let me tell you. Like I am like when I was playing Forbidden West, I realized that it was, you know, very visually impressive. It got a lot of awards for that stuff. But going back, and particularly because this is only a PS5 only DLC, it is not available on PS4. They really taken it up a notch. I am even as somebody who plays so many games, I am gobsmacked that games can look this good, that we are at a point where games can look this good. Just everything across the board. The voice acting is top notch. Seika, spoiler free, Seika is the new sort of primary character added in with this DLC. Acts as somewhat of a companion to Aloy, and not only is she an excellent character in her own right, but the interactions that she has with Aloy help to humanize her so much more than she ever has done before. Because a general critique that comes at Horizon is that Aloy is kind of like a nothing character. She's very sassy, very snarky, but at the end of the day, she doesn't really have a lot of actual personality beyond that. Seika doesn't fully resolve it, but she really opens Aloy up as a character in really interesting and compelling ways. And again, no spoilers, but I'm going to say that the final boss of Burning Shores is, again, recency bias might be a thing here, but I've racked my brain since finishing it a few days ago. And I genuinely think, from both a visual and gameplay mechanic perspective, the final boss of Burning Shores is the best final boss I've ever experienced. I would urge people who haven't gone and watched all of the Burning Shores trailers, don't watch them, because technically the final boss is kind of shown in at least a couple of those trailers. So just, if you're planning on playing it, if you are partway through Forbidden West, or like you guys are yet to start it, just hold off. Know that it will be worth the wait. It is remarkable, genuinely breathtaking. That sounds very hyperbolic, but once you get there, whenever you guys get there, if you guys get there, it is. Forbidden West ends on not a bad note, but ends on a cliffhanger that very clearly sets up the next Horizon game. And some people felt underwhelmed by that ending. This is like, I cannot wait to see what Horizon 3 is going to be, if this is even slightly indicative of what they can accomplish. It's insane. It's legitimately insane. I've rambled a little bit there, but it's something that is hard to explain without spoilers, but it is more Horizon if you're just looking for that. It's a good time. It looks and plays great. I've had no technical issues. It is run at a flawless 60. And yeah, it's the best Horizon has been thus far.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe I should finally play the complete edition that PlayStation gave me for free.
Yeah, you know, maybe
not just PS Plus. Like, they gave the complete edition of the first game completely away during the Play at Home initiative.
They did indeed. And just to clarify, because some people might be confused, I've seen there's some confusion. In order to play Burning Shores, you actually have to fully complete Forbidden West. You cannot begin it unless you have finished the final
story.
mission of Forbidden West. And there is, some people might be like, oh, for God's sake, that sounds like homework to be able to get to this new content. But there are legitimate narrative reasons that there is no way you can play Burning Shores. And one, understand what's going on, but two, again, Forbidden West gets really weird. So you're going to have whiplash. If you go straight from the end of Zero Dawn into Burning Shores, you would be almost like playing two different games. So yeah, I thoroughly recommend it. If you don't enjoy Horizon's gameplay, this isn't going to change it for you, but it is remarkable in my opinion.
I assume you platinumed Zero Dawn and Forbidden West?
Of course.
And Burning Shores?
I have. There is no platinum. There are trophies associated with it. Because it's not standalone. Like, as I say, you have to own Forbidden West in order to play it.
But like Bloodborne, you can buy the Old Hunters and it has a separate trophy list, but you can't play it unless you own the main game.
That's true, I suppose. I guess it's down to the discretion of the developers. But I would still say, as much as there is great narrative content here, there isn't quite enough, I would say, to not that a platinum needs that kind of justification, but I finished the main story doing a little bit of the side stuff beforehand in about 7 hours, I'd say. So it's not super long. Especially if you main path it, you could probably get it done in like 4 hours, maybe. But there's still plenty to do after you finish the storyline of Burning Shores. So I have not 100%ed Burning Shores. I probably won't, because there are some really weird trophies, and a couple of them seem to be glitched for me because I did a couple of things out of order and it seems to have messed with it. But I imagine that will be patched. It might even be patched by the time that this video goes live. But I think I got my fill. I'm not going to go for the 100%. If it had a platinum, I probably would, but I've got other things to be playing. So, that's me. That's Burning Shores.
Well, glowing review. I will eventually get to it at some point, although it does require me to beat 2 games.
Right, that's an issue. Sam, do you recommend, as a general recommendation, do you recommend playing... Oh, wait. Sorry, I interrupted you, Bree.
No, I didn't have anything.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Do you recommend playing Zero Dawn and or Forbidden West on their normal difficulties or their harder difficulties, or how do those games handle, or maybe for Burning Shores, how do those games handle difficulty levels?
I think my answer will vary depending on your level of competence with third-person action games.
Oh, well, I'm pretty confident.
Then I would say it's weird because Horizon it's really hard to explain unless you've played it.
Okay.
But even though it is a third-person action game, and you'd think that there is crossover with other third-person action games, and there is, the equipment set, the weapons and the tools that you have available to you in Horizon are very specific, and it means that, especially in Zero Dawn, you are very limited in the way in which you can approach encounters. So unless you are particularly good at that form of approach, which is being very mobile, using the quick menu to switch between weapons on the fly, crafting ammo, taking pot shots in sort of split second timings when a certain vulnerable section of a robot becomes visible. If you're good at that, I would say it's worth ratcheting up the difficulty, maybe not to like the top, but go for like a harder sort of I don't know what the God of War equivalent was, because it's not giving me God of War.
Yeah, so I did Give Me a Challenge when I played God of War.
Yeah, so whatever, like not super hard, but hard would be.
Okay.
I'm not sure what it might just be
Semi?
hard.
Second,
Mhm.
if there's a difficulties, normal, easy, normal, hard, hardest, the hard one.
I would say
Mm.
so. But I think Horizon is, particularly because your equipment sort of upgrades as you go along. It might be kind of weird to some people, but I have with both Zero Dawn and particularly Forbidden West, because Forbidden West is a harder game just by default. I think fluctuating difficulties is fine. Sort of
Okay. Does it
maybe
affect
to
your shooting?
begin with, when your tool set is slightly more limited, being on a easier difficulty, and then once you have more stuff available to you and the type of machines and enemies that you are encountering start becoming more complex encounters, maybe then you ratchet up the difficulty once you've got the hang of things a bit more.
Gotcha. All right. Thanks for the rundown.
Welcome.
Awesome. So yeah, cool. And yeah, getting on to some of the news this week. I guess moving forward, we're going to have more of an correct me if I'm wrong, Bree, but we're going to have more of an abbreviated news segment going forward, talking about usually the bigger stories rather
No,
than.
this is just all of the stories I could find. I
Oh.
wasn't planning on shortening our news section at all, and I don't think we should.
Okay.
But I like literally couldn't find anything else. I went through all of my normal places. So
Yeah, fair
that's why I
enough. There
said if I
wasn't
missed something, let me know, because there's only 6,
that much PlayStation
including
news
the
this week.
review.
But
Mhm.
starting off, PlayStation has acquired Firewalk Studios, who the link loads. I believe they made.
They
No.
have yet to make anything.
No, never mind. I'm thinking for some reason I thought of Firewatch, which is not Firewalk.
Yeah, and there's
Wait.
Fire Sprite as well, which is the VR studio. So it's getting confusing. There's too many
Oh, yeah.
Fire things.
Bree, the link is broken for this story. Just as HTTP link.
Well, just copy here. I'll get it for you. You know what? Hold
No,
on,
I'll
just one
fucking paste
second,
it.
Taylor.
No, I got it.
Vamp.
I got
Vamp. Okay, get it then.
Okay, so yeah, PlayStation acquired Firewalk Studios, the team who's developing quote the AAA multiplayer game for PlayStation. PlayStation announced, and the company announced on a new PlayStation blog, noting that it's been in a publishing partnership with Firewalk and Probably Monsters since 2021, and that they're now happy to expand their relationship by bringing the studio under the PlayStation umbrella. And it sounds like its development on this AAA multiplayer game will continue. Quote, since announcing our publishing partnership with Probably Monsters and Firewalk in 2021, we continue to be impressed by the team's ambitions to build a modern multiplayer game that connects players in new and innovative ways. End quote. Herman Holzer, the head of PlayStation, also wrote in the blog that, quote, the studio shares our passion for creating inspiring worlds grounded in exceptional gameplay. We want to continue to invest in their mission. We're excited to bring their technical and creative expertise to PlayStation Studios to help grow our live service operations and deliver something truly special for gamers. End quote. There was no price mentions of the acquisition. And yeah, so this happened. And it's cool, I guess. I wish I knew more about what they were making. But yeah, another acquisition for Sony for live service games, right? So trying to weather whatever storm that may come from somehow decreased Call of Duty foot traffic if the game is less profitable on PlayStation, even though Microsoft committed to bringing it there. Anyway, like Destiny 2, more live service stuff. What do you guys think?
It's a bit of a blank slate at the minute, but I think it's something that we see PlayStation continue to do, where they partner with studios, and years later they then, not all the time, but more often than not, end up acquiring them. And it's clear that whilst they might very well be impressed by whatever title they are developing, I'm sure they are, it's indicative of their continued focus on talent acquisition as opposed to IP acquisition. We've seen it with Haven as well recently. Haven haven't put out a game yet. They are also working on a AAA multiplayer title, but they were acquired, and that's obviously Jade Raymond from Assassin's Creed heading that studio. And this Firewalk is comprised of Bungie devs, or ex-Bungie devs, a few ex-Activision employees who were heads on Call of Duty at one point or another. So you would assume it's probably an FPS of some form. I think it's good. I'm glad to see that PlayStation aren't just, not to attack Xbox, but aren't just going, oh god, quick panic, we've got to buy up as much IP from random publishers, or even just buy the publisher outright. They are focusing on, for the most part, smaller teams, and saying, hey, we like what you guys are doing, we'll bring you in-house, rather than going, we need to have this particular franchise under our umbrella. Not that PlayStation don't do that, to clarify, because of course they do. But I'm glad to see it. I look forward to seeing whatever they're working on. I imagine it's probably coming sooner rather than later as well, because this studio formed in 2018. So if they've been working on a game since then and have partnered in 2021, we could see this game by the end of the year, maybe.
My guess would probably be next year.
Probably, yeah, probably. We can dream.
Mm-hmm, for sure. Not that I'm really looking for first-person shooters, especially multiplayer.
To be clear, it might not be, but
it probably is.
It probably is. It probably is.
AAA multiplayer developed by
Bungie and Call of Duty people.
And yeah. I mean,
you never know. Hi-Fi Rush came from Tango Gameworks. Devs have range, but
that's true. They absolutely do.
Respawn makes Fallen Order.
Yes, that is.
And Survivor.
Yeah.
We have Survivor and Fantasy. And we counterpicked Pikmin 4.
Stop getting hung up on that. It's okay.
You know what my favorite thing that happened this week was? I can't even remember what game it was. Taylor was like, hey, can you guys pick up this game? And I was like, we have it.
Oh yeah, it was
Oxenfree 2.
Yeah, there we go.
It
was I think the 5th game we picked or something like that.
What? Uh-oh.
One of the more low-profile titles, to be fair. It wasn't like a mega blockbuster.
Oh, it was mega blockbuster in my mind.
Hey, don't get me wrong. I love Oxenfree. That's why it was high on my list as well. But
it was on Toph's list.
I'm pretty sure my PlayStation 4 theme right now is the Oxenfree theme.
Yeah.
I sold my PS4 to a friend when I got my PS5. What?
My PS4 is right there. That's right in front of me.
What?
You're in trouble. I don't know what you did.
On the PS4.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. Yeah, that has to be it for sure.
Yep.
Toph could have used the PS4 as a bed. How dare you?
It does emit. It would have emitted a lot of heat. She probably would have clogged the fan vents though.
Mm-hmm. It's fine. Okay, so next story here. PlayStation has significantly increased Steam game prices in some countries. As first spotted by Reset Era user Chairman Chuck. Sure. The prices of Sackboy, Big Adventure, and Returnal have been increased this week in countries including Argentina, Canada, Chile, China, Colombia, Japan, and South Korea. VGC has verified these prices using Steam database and found that other PlayStation titles, including God of War and Spider-Man Remastered, have received similar price increases. The price increase varies by country and title. In Canada, the price of all 4 games have been upped by $10, representing 14.5% to 17% increase based on the starting price. In Sony's home country of Japan, the prices have been risen by between approximately 29 to 32.5%. Argentina appears to be by far the most heavily affected by the price increase. God of War's price has more than doubled this week. from 4,199 pesos to 8,499 pesos. The cost of Spider-Man Remastered has also doubled, excuse me, while the prices of Sackboy and Returnal have risen by 67%. No comment yet from Sony.
Gotta hate this company. Oh my god, why? Why would they do this?
Those are some really big price increases.
Yeah.
That's what happens when there's no competition, because all the other people, I mean, Xbox, are so incompetent that Sony feel that they can do this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I love PlayStation, of course we do, but it's like you saw it with PS3. They were riding so high off the PS2 generation that they started making what they thought were lucrative business decisions that were just stupid and ultimately ended up harming the company. And it's stuff like this that is not obviously a one-to-one, but a version of that. Unless there is some really weird logistical reason why they had to do this, but I don't think they did.
Right.
No.
Yeah. For those who don't remember, the PS3's original price in the United States for the 20 gigabyte model was $500 US. In 2005, I believe. And their 60 gigabyte model was $600 US almost 20 years ago as well. Toph knows.
Yeah, meow. She's so cute.
So yeah, PlayStation historically, it was November 2006. Still, that's, well, if you want to include past year's inflation, that might as well be over $1,000 at this point. So yeah, PlayStation and pricing, historically not a great precedent, and this is concerning. Yeah, I know, Toph, it is. So,
because the only vaguely logical explanation for this is that for some reason they want to hike PC PlayStation ports in price to disincentivize players from purchasing it on PC and instead coming into the PlayStation ecosystem itself.
But I don't.
But
think
even then,
yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. Like that is somewhat sound logic in terms of like, if you want to find ways to get people into the ecosystem that wouldn't otherwise, you just hike up the prices. I mean, it's a stupid decision, but it makes sense in terms of this begets this, begets this. But even then, you would have to purchase a PS5, which in and of itself is a massive commitment financially. So it's like, yeah, just I don't get it.
The two things that I can think of is, one, they're upping the cost because it technically, quote unquote, costs them more to have ported it to PC because they had to. That's the one thing I can think of. The only other thing I can think of is that we already had our price increase, right? The 60 to 70 for mainline games. I wonder if those never translated into the other countries. Like, I wonder if they just left it and now they're finally like fixing it. But I don't know that for sure. I'm just speculating.
Are these price increases just exclusive to the PC versions? Because if it was the case that the prices hadn't translated over to those regions, you'd think there would be parity with the console versions as well. That.
Yeah, I guess that doesn't make sense. And yeah, you're right. No, I think it is just the PC versions. So
yeah, very weird. Very weird. Unless there is, like, again, there might be. I'm trying to give PlayStation the benefit of the doubt, but there might be something where in some of these regions there are higher, what's the word I'm thinking of?
It could be just like an entertainment cost thing. But I don't know.
Yeah, but the increase seems extortionate in that regard.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. I would say, like, let's just call it PlayStation's being shitty, and that's fine. Like,
probably
it's not fine, but like, what are we gonna do? So we'll just call it PlayStation's being poopy.
God damn it.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't just stay on top of the market. You had to go and screw it up, didn't you? You had to go and screw it up.
They really like doing that.
They do. They get too comfortable. That's the issue.
They do. I feel like it's not even like a comfort thing, because if they were to like settle in, like, and be like, yeah, we're doing really well. Like, this is a good place to be. Like, I think it'd be fine. But it's like, yeah, we're doing well. So now we're going to be super cocky about it.
Well, that's it. But that sort of comes with comfort, because if they weren't comfortable where they are in the market, they wouldn't feel the security in making these kind of decisions. And it seems so like short-sighted as well. Like, surely you want to be playing the long game. You're making so much money. It's not listed as a news story here, but I'm pretty sure I read that in terms of lifetime sales, if you line up with when the console launched, PS5 has now exceeded the PS4 in terms of sales where they were at this point in the life cycle. So it's like the PS5 is doing even better in terms of sales than the PS4 was, and the PS4 was a behemoth. So you're already arguably or seemingly making more money than ever before. And yet now is the time that you're like, you know what? We can nickel and dime people even more. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Anyway, next news story. Humanity will be available day one as a PlayStation Plus game catalog title and will launch May 16th. So just under a month, everybody. It will be available at no extra cost to PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium members, again on that May 16th release date. What is Humanity, you may be wondering? That is a very good question. Even
the
I'm not
description
entirely
doesn't
sure.
help.
No. The best that I can find is that it is an action, platforming, and puzzle strategizing game coming from Enhance. Enhance, if people aren't aware, are the studio that did such titles as Tetris Effect, which I will go as far as to say is one of the best games ever made. So,
Oh, I found the description here. In Humanity, you control a glowing Shiba Inu, placing commands on the ground for a giant horde of people to follow.
It's super weird. It's super weird. Looks very unique. I'll give it that.
It's so cute.
Speaking of coming from Tetris Effect, which again I will herald as one of the most transformative gaming experiences I've ever had,
with or without the help of cannabis.
Without.
Wow.
To be fair, I specifically did play PSVR, which I think is the definitive way to play Tetris Effect. It's a good game on a flat TV screen, but in VR, that game is something incredibly special. And I don't even like Tetris, so there's that. This game, gotta say, doesn't appeal to me quite the same way. It could be hiding something really interesting. I'm sure it is.
You're probably gonna platinum it anyways.
I
don't lie.
I will neither confirm nor deny.
It's free. You're going to download it.
It will depend. I will be downloading and playing it. That's for sure.
It's
but
free real estate.
Depending on the trophy list, I may or may not go for the 100%.
Honestly, it looks really cute and fun.
Yeah, like again, this isn't the point of the thing, but like Tetris Effects platinum, no chance. It's just never going to happen. Ridiculously hard. But hey, this one has a Shiba, so
Shiba Inus are so cute.
The glowing Shiba, so it's like
because he passed away.
Don't say that.
That's what it says. It says that he doesn't remember his last life.
Oh. Well, there you go, folks. He plays a dead dog. You're welcome.
John Wick's dog,
also known as Doge.
That would be a twist.
John Wick's dog plays John Wick's dog. And then you go and take out
Humanity.
That's I think you've actually nailed it, because if this is a dog that's died, then obviously that correlates with John Wick's dog. Spoilers. But if you are guiding all of these hordes of people, you are guiding all of the people that John Wick has killed in your name into the afterlife. I think that's actually what's going on here.
I have to be so honest. This game kind of reminds me. So there's a game called Kids, and it kind of reminds me of that game.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't.
It kind of does.
You've
I'm not
ruined it
kidding.
for me. You've ruined it for me. Yeah, it's just a very weird visually game in terms of the
Yeah.
sort of style it's going for, the vibe. It's what I would expect from the devs, honestly, to an extent. But this is a new level of weird.
If it has a soundtrack, like if it has a good soundtrack, I'm so in. Like if it has like a Katamari Damacy soundtrack, I'm like so in.
See, like Tetris Effect has an excellent soundtrack, but this kind of strikes me as the game where the music would be quite minimal.
Yeah, probably will
sort
be.
of quite sort of chimey, plinky plonky, sort of, very
Plinky plonky, okay.
singular keyboard notes, that kind of thing. every
Plinky
once in a
plonky
while.
is the technical term.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. In all of my years doing music, I never heard it.
Well,
Wow,
Bloodborne in
that's
the research
crazy.
hall, they say plip plop, plip plop.
There you go.
It's one of the most chilling things ever. Bree, please play the Old Hunters.
It's not going to happen. You just not. Just don't even set yourself up for disappointment, Taylor. It's not going to happen.
Actually, I
You
need to
schedule
rebuy
as my
PS.
secretary.
All right, I need to rebuy PS4 to download Lance McDonald's Bloodborne 60 FPS patch. That's what I need to do. I'm not going to do that. I'm not paying $200 for a 60 FPS Bloodborne. Am I? I don't know. No, I'm not.
We're waiting for Bloodborne 2.
Nope. Waiting for a 60 FPS remaster. That won't happen.
No.
Anyway, we're not doing Bloodborne 2 anymore. All right, we're off that topic. All right. Oh. Bree, do you want to talk about? You want to talk about Harry Potter?
I'm not going to do that.
You
I
want to
promise you right now, I will not be doing that.
You want
Fresh
to
out of
talk about-
Hogwarts, ladies and gentlemen. Look at him.
about Harry Potter.
I'm gonna tell you, there's a lot of things that I'll do for comedy. Accents is not one.
Harry Poopa.
So Harry Potter Quidditch Champions announced. Testing signups are now open. The playtests have already started as of the time of recording, April 21st. Warner Brother Games have announced a standalone Quidditch experience called Harry Potter Quidditch Champions. According to the game's FAQ page, it will allow players to partake in the Wizarding World's iconic sport and, quote, other broomstick adventures alongside friends in competitive multiplayer settings. Playing the game requires constant internet connection, hence Warner Brothers Games is holding a limited playtest for people to try out the new Harry Potter title. I skipped. I didn't finish reading. Anyways, sorry. During the playtest, you can either play the game by yourself or you can team up with friends and other people online. You'll also be able to create and customize your character to your liking. Quidditch Champions has been in development for several years at Unbroken Studios, which is also lending a hand in developing Suicide Squad. Warner Brother released the following statement about Quidditch Champions' connection to the Harry Potter franchise alongside Portkey Games, which is publishing the game. While Portkey Games are not direct adaptations of the books and films, the games are firmly rooted in the magical universe of the Wizarding World. While remaining true to J.K. Rowling's original vision, Portkey game developers chart new territory by creating fresh ways for fans to immerse themselves in the Wizarding World. Yeah, that's about it. You can sign up for the playtest on the official Quidditch Champion website if you wish to get a first look. To learn more about the game, you can join the game's Discord server.
Great. I know you're
Doesn't
so
look
excited
like there's
for this,
an end
Bree.
date. I mean, I think if I had people to play it with, I would be happy to play it, but it's multiplayer and I'm not just gonna play by myself. So
Yeah, you are.
no.
How about this? I'll play with you, but then but I won't do anything. So then you'll be playing by yourself, but I'll still be in the.
So you're gonna just troll the game, or
I don't care about Harry Potter. What am I saying? Hey, Harry Potter.
It's getting better each time you do it. So let's keep this ball rolling.
You have to do it like McGonagall, though.
Who's McGonagall?
I'm glad that you don't know, because that would have been too much for me.
I'm
Good
gonna
old
Google
Maggie
it.
Smith.
McGonagall.
I love her. The way she says his name is just the best.
The actress who plays her is still alive. Oh my god.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
She looks even older.
That's
Who would have
I think
guessed?
what happens.
Who would have guessed?
Yeah.
Breaking news: the longer you live, the older you look.
Unless you are Keanu Reeves, who stopped aging
That
since
is-
about 2010.
oh yeah, okay.
Since
No,
the
I'll
first
give you
John
that.
Wick, he hasn't looked different at all.
Yeah. I thought you were just going to say like ever. I
What
was
if
like,
he's
well,
secretly
he
a
doesn't look like
vampire?
Matrix John Wick.
I want to see Renfield. Speaking of that,
Of vampires?
Wouldn't that
No,
be so much better if
Renfield's a
Keanu
film.
was Dracula in that film instead? Like he make a great Dracula.
He's
I think.
Dracula in real
He'd
life,
say,
so it's fine.
I'm Dracula. Yeah. Or yes.
Yeah.
Or he'd say, what's a good quote from the first movie? You can let me suck your blood, or you can go. I forget what he says. Something alongside him. And Willem Dafoe does the thing, and then boom, boom, boom. And then, this is a slight spoiler. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about.
I don't know what you're talking
I know
about.
Kung
I'm
Fu
very lost.
and how to suck blood.
I know Kung
Yeah.
Fu and how to suck blood. I want his car. Anyway, for the last story this week, on the lightest news week since a previous moment in time, Diablo 4 has gone gold. So, for people who don't know what this means, this means the game is the first build of the game is complete and ready to be sent out to manufacture via disc, or the first version of the game that would be on Steam. Of course, by release day, as with many games, there'll probably be a day one patch. Yeah. But anyway, the game's set to arrive on, this at least means, right, no more delays. So the game is set to arrive on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. It's weird that the IGN article says plus PC. PC is the primary platform for Diablo 4. Make no mistake about it. And while it's good to go for launch, Blizzard plans to continually update the always online game with various content updates over the next several years. Fans recently got to explore the game's revamped take on Sanctuary for themselves in 2 back-to-back weekend open betas in March, letting them taste a big slice of the now finished pie. So, quote, going gold is a landmark milestone for the incredible Diablo 4 team who have all worked so hard crafting the next generation installment of this iconic franchise. This comes from Rod Ferguson, who's the general manager of Diablo. So, yes, I forgot, are either of you guys playing this? I feel like Bree said she was. And if you are, which platform?
I haven't decided which platform, and I will play if I have people to play with. Otherwise, I will not be playing.
Wow. I tried Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls, or Diablo 3 with the Reaper of Souls DLC, that version. And I played it on a little bit on console, but I don't know if Diablo's my cup of tea. Like, I never really understood the end goal of Diablo. Is it Diablo or Diablo?
Diablo?
I don't want to pull a Super Mario here. So
Well,
I'm going to say Diablo from now on. Okay. Diablo. I'm pretty sure also in Spanish you would say Diablo, and that is the origin of the word for devil. So anyway, so it's really the end goal of Diablo. I'm going to sound like a real noob here, Diablo fan, so please don't, come after me. Unless, anyway, is the end goal of Diablo just to, get your level cap by like the end of the season and then like do it again and then like try it with different characters? Like, I don't quite understand what is the goal of Diablo for you, the player.
I would say the end goal is to have fun. Just kidding.
What is the discrete mission I'm accomplishing? I need an objective.
No, yeah. I don't know if I 100% understand it myself, but essentially, like, the way that, like, Diablo 3 plays is that you are just kind of following along with the story with your friends. You're unlocking, like, you have, like, a skill tree, so you're, like, unlocking abilities, going through dungeons. It's just kind of it's almost it's almost like a bullet hell game, but, like, not. And you just, like, kill a bunch of enemies.
Borderlands in a sense where you have a
I've never
narrative that
played
you go
that,
through where
so
you progressively get stronger and there is an end point to the story, but you can continually go back to grind certain areas and get better gear and do stuff. You know, there are raids that happen like there would be in other online games like World of Warcraft or something, you know, something like that, where
Mhm.
with each update there's new areas or zones or levels that you can partake in, classes to play with unique abilities, that kind of thing. And I mean, I could be wrong, but I think I understand what Diablo is, on a base level. I mean, it's not for me. I won't be playing Diablo 4, put it that way. But I think that's the gist of it.
Mhm.
Gotcha. Yeah, I just searched it and found on Reddit a good post where someone said, "What is the point of Diablo?" And someone here, the top comment says,
Kill Diablo.
"Preferences, taste, etc." I ask myself the question: Who um, competitive games? Who plays competitive games like League or COD, etc.? Why spend hours on a game where you need teamwork and don't have a constant, stable, and enemies duty versus the other? And those fans of those types of games like COD, League of Legends, they'll tell me that they enjoy the player input from enemies, not smarting them. So some people ask me why I like turn-based games because they don't like how you usually don't control your character precisely. Simple, I can take my time thinking over my strategies, calculating numbers, and choosing the best possible path, which isn't for everyone, and that's fine. So where that leaves Diablo and other action RPGs for that matter. For me, it's gameplay and progression. We make a freshly character, try to push this character to its absolute maximum by getting levels and gear. There's always a better gear until you've rolled perfect stats. There's always an extra rank and gem level to up your damage numbers, and there's always a different greater rift where everything lines up and you can clear a new greater rift level. It's the gameplay and progression that I get without interference from a human. Everything in the game has its programmed behavior. Every skill has its programmed damage and area. It gives me everything that makes my character stronger and constant numbers that will not change. Naturally, to get that high, I'll need to put in a number of hours to get my gear and stats up to that level. And with seasons, you have the benefit of everyone starting at the same time in a new season, at the same power. It's then a race to the top and keeping your place there, which you won't do unless you put in hours, which requires grinding. And that can be said for all games where there's some sort of a ranking. Shooters and MOBAs will have to grind on matches 2 for points so they can stay up top. The difference is that Diablo was grinding against programmed enemies and not against fellow humans. So you find yourself asking the question, why put in hours in a player versus environment game? That's when it's not the question you should be asking, and you should be trying to enjoy those hours, or why you should try to put in those hours. It's a question whether or not this type of game or genre is enjoyable to you. And it's fine to see the point or dislike it, because that's your personal preference. It's the same as why people play Diablo or play other games. They just simply like playing it. So other than I think this was a good post now, other than the general thing of I like game give me dopamine, it's that constant progression against not, and this is actually a bit attractive for me, guys. One of my biggest pet peeves with like multiplayer games was I just didn't like playing against people. Like I would boot up Black Ops 1 and just play against bots on Nuketown. So maybe Diablo is for me. I don't know, but maybe I will give it a shot. But Final Fantasy comes out like 2 weeks later. Ah! What are we supposed to do?
First world problems.
Somehow find a way to halt time, but also still be able to play video games.
This is called the Hyperbolic Time Chamber. It's already been realized in Dragon Ball Z. I suggest you watch that show.
I'm not going to.
Please.
I'm going to tell you that right
Please.
now. No. There are so many other anime that are so
Oh my
much
god,
better,
okay.
and I just am not going
Okay.
to.
Anyway, what'll probably actually happen is I hardline. But damn, Diablo comes out before. That'll be tough waiting 2 weeks and not purchasing the game, but probably try to hardline Final Fantasy 16.
You will have stuff to do, like, in between, like, those, like, in those 2 weeks, like,
Oh yeah, I'll have stuff.
Tears
Tears
of the Kingdom is still
yeah.
hitting first, so.
Oh my god, no, Tears of the No Spider-Man in September, allegedly.
Allegedly.
It's coming in September. You know it is. We know it is. We all know it.
Allegedly.
Just to confirm it to us, Jim Ryan.
Okay. So we are at an hour. And we finished
Actually,
the stories.
should we cut it this early and not do Limitless and go to the post show? Or are we still doing Limitless?
That's what I was about to ask. Do you want to do a small Limitless, or do you want to just cut and go?
One Limitless question, all right, and then post show.
Okay.
What question would you guys want to answer?
Let Sam pick.
No, I'm open to anything.
All right, Sam, pick. It's in Comic Sans for you.
With
Comic
a bunch
Sans.
of different fonts. I mean, not fonts, sizes.
What franchise would you enjoy seeing adapted into a Lego game? Huh?
All right. That's a good question. I don't know.
I have two answers.
Wow. All right, go first.
I know that technically the licensing would be a nightmare, but in terms of thematic, in Lego games, you are collecting studs, collecting characters to add to your playable character roster. I think a Lego Pokemon title would be pretty chef's kiss.
That would be solid. That's a really good choice.
A sort of linear, semi-linear, or semi-open world game that lets you have encounters with Pokemon and catch them. And they each have unique abilities, like different Lego characters do. That, or thinking along the lines of like a Skywalker Saga type thing, where it's more of a collection that spans a series of products, films, TV show, episodes, whatever. I think something like Disney/Pixar. I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. But one that I've always thought of that would work, even before I saw this, I've thought about this for years. But specifically, like a Lego Toy Story game, I think would be, again, very thematically succinct and sort of not succinct. What the hell am I talking about? Very on point thematically. That's what I'm getting at. Where you could have obviously massive environments like Andy's room, but you are to the scale of a minifigure, and you're going around doing things. And you could maybe even, now I'm thinking about it, not only have it be a reenactment of the films as most Lego games do, but you could even have like an additional narrative segment where you are just a Lego minifigure in Andy's room and you interact with other toys like Woody and Buzz and stuff. I think that could be cool as well. Not that Lego games do that very often, where they tend to have like original stories. Some do, but most don't. But I think that could work. So one of those two, I think, would be my choice.
Last of Us. I'm just kidding. Just because I think it'd be crazy off the wall, I think it'd be kind of fun to do like a Kingdom Hearts game. Like a Lego Kingdom Hearts game, because then you could have all of like the Final Fantasy characters as Legos, as well as all of the Disney like little tiny worlds and Legos. I think that would be like I said, off the wall a little bit, but I think it'd be fun. I don't think I really have anything else. I would say, so I would maybe say like My Hero Academia, but it would very much have to be like a special like spin-off story, because they couldn't follow the main story with that. I feel like something like My Neighbor Totoro would be fun. Something like one of the Ghibli films, Spirited Away, something like that.
Nice.
That would never happen, but it would be fun. Yeah. I think Pokemon was the ultimate answer, though.
All right. I'm going to say John Wick. It would be funny to see them. Ow.
It would, like, what would they do with the dog? Like, you took
and like kidify it,
my dog.
where it's like, you tranquilized my dog.
Yeah.
Now I have to put you in prison. Then it's like Lego City. Yeah. Then it's a little, almost seems like a spinoff of Lego City Undercover. Or you could just do the Batman angle. We're not gonna kill. We're just gonna, break your spine and make you immobile for the rest of your life. But it's okay because you're still not dead.
Have you guys ever seen like the whole thing that's like, oh, would you love me if I was a worm or whatever?
No. And I mean,
Oh,
the
like,
answer is no. Like if someone asked me that, I know I wouldn't. I'd
oh,
chop them
okay.
in half.
That's too. You're gonna get in trouble with that answer. I'm gonna tell you right now. If your significant other ever asks you that, you need to say yes. It's the only correct answer. It is a trick question.
Chop them in fourths.
Oh my god.
What?
Anyways, where I was going with this is like, like, what would you do if you became a Lego?
If I became a Lego, I would take off my Lego head and be like, "This is cool," because their parts are modular, right?
Yeah, that's true.
What? I'd also get really pissed off that my hand was just basically.
But all of this like Lego stuff like fits in the little like.
I know, but
like,
then you have no opposable
seat.
thumbs. You can just do this with your hand.
So what I do is I would
Yeah.
go down to the kitchen of the house that my owner lives in, and I grab like a relatively large kitchen knife. I'd hold it to them and I'd be like, look, you're going to buy me the most expensive modular Lego house to live in, or else.
Rivendell.
This is one step away from Chucky.
Precisely, right? But so they're scared of me, so they do my bidding, and then I get to go and have fun in lots of different IP themed Lego sets.
You can also do the Hogwarts set too.
Yeah.
Those are the two that I actually want to buy. That's probably why I said those. Anyways.
Yeah.
Someday I'll have space.
Nice. All right. So now I think we're gonna end things before we move on to the post show, where Bree talks about some real drama in the
Real
workplace.
drama.
Gone.
So it has to do with a pinata stick too.
Okay. Gone pinata. In the Viva. Anyway, thank you all so much for listening. You can find us on youtube.com, over at Save the Game Media, or Twitter at Save Game Media, and don't forget to check out the Discord. If you want to hang out, links are all in the description for the Discord as well. I just said that, but Discord times 3. So where can people find you, Sam?
People can find me on Twitter at Sam Heaney. That is Heaney.
Oh, that was a new one. You can find me at Fabulous Brianna, FABULIST BREANNA. Taylor? You can find Taylor on the Discord. He's TPR on the Discord.
You can find me on the Discord. Or
MySpace.
Mastodon. What was it called?
Yeah.
Or Mixer.
Can people find you on Gmail?
No.
Okay.
Or you can find me in your basement. There you go. That's Your Basement TM. Not Your Basement, but I'm now making a company called Your Basement. If there's an actual company called Your Basement, please don't send me a cease and desist. Okay?
Let's look. You
Maybe
can
I should make
click.
it in
I'm
my
gonna
basement.
look.
All right. Well, before Bree's done looking for that, we're going to hit the stop recording button.
Bye.
All right. Bye. Goodbye.